Hello, everybody. Good morning. My name is Shane, and this is Into the West Comics, and we're doing our new comics and that type of stuff segment. So,
Wow.
we got Paul and we got Marcus, and they're going to talk about what they're digging, what they like, and I'm going to listen to them. So Hot Dog Paul, you go first. What you got?
Man, I love it. So we're gonna start this week with something that's been very good so far. I'm gonna kind of be Batman centric this week, as I feel like I may be every week, but whatever. It's not my favorite character or anything like that. So I'm gonna start with Batman, the long running Batman comic. Right now written by Chip Zdarsky and with art by Jorge Jimenez. That's kind of the dream team right now. That comic is stellar in pretty much every way you could imagine. It's probably the best the Batman comic has been since Snyder. I don't know if Marcus would agree with me on that.
Yes, I would agree. Actually.
I think it's only 3 issues in 4, 5, something like that.
He started in 125, I think. So yeah, like 4 issues.
I think it's 4 issues in.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of fun to read. It's Batman to its core. I feel like I'm reading a Batman comic. That was a lot of my problems with Tom King's run. Is I felt like I was reading a love story that had a character dressed as Batman in it. Not all the time, but a lot of the time in that. And we've sung King's praises. I just don't love his Batman. But this has been fantastic as usual. They're kind of introducing some new characters and new elements with, as every writer does, try to make it its own, kind of stemming from Snyder and the way he did that, and almost all the way back to Morrison with Talia and Damian. And I think that's a really fun idea, but when it's done right, it's incredible. Like for Ghostmaker, I think Ghostmaker's cool and everything. I wasn't as compelled by him, but what Zdarsky and Jimenez are doing with this book, I love every single bit of it. It's one of the only books like that I come home, sit down, read it right away. A lot of books I'll just put on a stack and be like, I'll get to it because we got so much to read and stuff like that. But that comic is okay, I'm reading this one, then I can push everything else off to the side. So Marcus, what's your first pick?
Well, first I'll say there's nothing wrong with being Batman centric because he's a big heavy hitter and
it's got a lot of books.
Yeah. And then we have Gotham Year One that just came out too by Tom King, so we had a double hitter, Tom King and Chip Zdarsky this week. So it's been a great week.
Yep.
But my pick is
your pick?
Sorry. My pick for this week.
I'm not the one to talk. Sorry.
Yeah, if you didn't see the shirt already, is the Punisher.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, the Punisher. Yeah,
sounds like different.
Yeah, he just.
I need to read that one.
Oh yeah,
that one sounds good.
Yeah, you do, boy. You do.
No, go.
But
any pasty redheads?
Oh no.
Oh man.
But yeah, so just as we marked his 49th anniversary of being first appearing in Amazing Spider-Man number 129, Punisher issue 7 by Jason Aaron came out this week, and it's awesome. As you can tell by the cover, you have both Punisher and Daredevil, and then that is the Beast. So yeah, it was already kind of said in dialogue in the Daredevil. I think it was Daredevil 4 where the hand meets the fist. So in Daredevil, you pretty much have you have Matt Murdock and Elektra. They basically have been officially christened as leaders of the hand of the fist, and now you have Frank Castle, who's the leader of the hand. The fist of the beast,
right?
So yes, and yeah, they're bound to bump heads, and they do, and it's an awesome issue. You also have Ares involved as well, and Ares, the god of war. So there's some wild variables here, and hand has met the fist. And Daredevil kind of knows how to handle Frank a little bit because he once was possessed by the spirit of the beast. So he kind of knows, he has some history there, and he attempts to try to exorcise Frank to no avail before having to flee. But man, Ares is coming.
It feels like the Punisher and Daredevil books right now are kind of intertwining with each other, almost in the way that Deathstroke, Batman, and Robin were for a little bit a couple months ago.
Right.
As in, like, their story. I'm sure the story, because I haven't caught up on Punisher. I'm up on Daredevil, but not Punisher.
Right.
But Daredevil I can read on its own and not feel like I'm missing anything.
Right.
But Punisher seems like it could actually add something to that should I pick that up.
Right.
And Jason Aaron's great.
It is. He's written it. He's written Punisher before, and his Marvel Max series is one of those ones that people must seek out. It's out of print right now, but you could find single issues fairly easily. It's a great 22 issue run, and yeah, the Punisher book is definitely going to complement the Daredevil one. Although it's not really an official crossover, even though it feels like a crossover.
Right, but it feels like the same universe, which sometimes comics don't.
Right,
and
right.
They should.
So they're definitely in there. And for those who aren't aware, Punisher pretty much has been watched since basically his childhood by the Beast. And was, they've been kind of wanting him to be the leader of that group of assassins for a while, and
it's almost like Batman with the League of Shadows. Shout out Batman centric.
Right. So you have that going, and then you have Daredevil's experience, and then they're part of the rival group. So now you're seeing them butt heads, and then Ares is jealous because Ares has been watching Frank too, and he's like, "How dare you worship another god? I'm the god. You should be worshiping. I'm the one."
That's dope.
Yeah. So now,
so
he's butting heads. So Frank's butting heads with Ares, and so now Ares is after Frank, and then Daredevil's kind of coming in. So there's a big because Ares,
if you will.
Ares is not happy that the Beast is taking. Ares is not happy that the Beast is taking one of his prized, I don't know, heralds or whatever you would call them.
I think heralds is a good one.
So yeah, it's getting real. At first I was a little skeptic of the whole supernatural sort of tone that Punisher has been taking.
Right?
Yeah, because he's super grounded, but it's working, and the the modified skull logo is appropriate. It's not,
see that's awesome.
Yeah, because actually
a little clearer image on screen for you here.
Yeah. So it's awesome.
So you got Punisher. What else you got in the can there? I see there's another one that looks tight.
Yeah. So this is my
very tight
trade pick of
this is trade pick.
Yeah. So this is Incredible Hulk, Planet Hulk. So they just recently announced the reprint of the omnibus of this, and this is just the trade paperback that collects Incredible Hulk 92 through 105, Giant Size Hulk 1, the Gladiator Guidebook, and Amazing Fantasy 15 parts of it, and it basically tells you the core of the Planet Hulk story. It's a great standalone story where basically you have the Illuminati, which is a secret organization that
shot that man out off the planet.
They were like, you're just too dangerous for Earth. We got to get you off of here. So they send him off in outer space. He crash lands into a planet, and he ends up becoming a gladiator / slave on that planet. He ends up liberating the planet, and then you have
Ragnarok.
Yeah, basically, yeah. They pretty much played into that story, and it's a fabulous story. And in fact, they just reprinted the Illuminati story, the 5-issue mini in trade paperback.
I think to piggyback on you with the Planet Hulk, I think the jettisoning of him from the planet was a very editorial decision, because it was like, how are we going to handle the Hulk being on Earth during Civil War? And it was like, well, it's simpler to send him off planet and have him have his own adventure there and let everyone clash on Earth and have that kind of, because whose side is Hulk going to be on? While he's in the middle, what do? Get him out of there because he's dangerous. And it's like, it's almost like the Jason Todd thing for me. That was very editorial. Like that was an editorial decision based on what they wanted to change, but it turned into a beloved story and something that informs the character for a long time, much like Planet Hulk does.
Right. And that Illuminati, that actually sets up for that, as well as Civil War and all that, because you start to, you learn who the Illuminati is, that group, and then one of them might be a Skrull. And then it kind of like, okay, so now we're getting into that neighborhood. But yeah, fabulous story. Definitely one to check out. It's a great standalone. You don't have to know any Hulk really to enjoy it. So so without a doubt, that's a definite. Fairly easy to find in the trade paperback form. Like I said, they're going to be re-releasing the omnibus, which is going to collect more of the tie-ins and other outside stuff that goes with it next year. So,
yeah. Cool. What you got?
Fantastic. So before I do my last pick, I'm going to hit you guys with a sponsor from our good friends, Crafty Comics. Now,
Crafty.
we all got stuff, right? You all got stuff. You want to show it off. Comics, playing cards, baseball cards, basketball cards, all that stuff. Well, they're CGC, right? But you got to send them their stuff. A lot of horror stories have happened recently with people losing their things and this, that, and the other thing. You don't got to send Crafty anything. You can find them on Instagram at Crafty with an I Comics. Just hit them up. They're all awesome. They'll get you some incredibly beautiful displays for whatever it is you may want to have up in your room. If you're like, oh, I got this awesome poster or comic or card, but my wife won't let me put it up, much like Dan did. His wife wouldn't let him. And then he started the business because of that. Go check them out at Crafty Comics. Get your stuff laminated, or not laminated, put in the glass displays. It's awesome. They're fantastic. So I'm going to get some. I mean, Frank is so much better at this. I'm like, I have so much more respect for him now. I miss him. But
it's fine.
My last pick is going to be Dark Knights of Steel by Tom Taylor and Yasmin Putri. It's kind of a medieval story of what if Batman and Superman had landed on the planet in the medieval times, but it's actually a little deeper than that. The stories don't go as you may think. Batman is not as you know Batman. Their parents are not as you know their parents. Superman is not as you know Superman. It's incredibly interesting, and it's not just, well, these characters are dropped into medieval times. It's actually a story that's being carved through using the place that they are and the time that they're in. And Bruce especially is incredibly interesting because he has something going on with his character and kind of almost Game of Thronesy, not quite, but the way the family relations and things like that are involved, I think you would love it.
All right, cool.
And have you read any of it, Marcus?
I have. I started the first couple of issues, and then I kind of just I didn't have it on pull. I just read it just to kind of be aware of what's going on, and then I kind of got
lost in the sauce, as most things do.
But Tom Taylor, he when it comes to his Otherworld stuff, whether it be for Marvel or DC, it's great. Dark Ages was great for Marvel. He's doing a bang up job with Dark Knights of Steel for DC, and it's a great book actually.
They're killing it. That's our picks for this week.
Fantastic. You guys have been stellar. I will pick up everything that you guys say because I am a follower. We all know that. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time. Frank does this way better than the rest of us. I'm Shane.
Take care, everyone.
Good morning to you.
It's good practice.